Hello and welcome to the Pro Tour Austin Championship match. I'm Randy Buehler. I'm here with Brian David Marshall, and we are getting to watch one for the history books. Brian Kibler has recently come back to the game. He's been playing since the mid-90s. He's closing in on 200 lifetime pro points. It's in his third top 8 now and already eligible for the Hall of Fame. You know, he really would love to get into that conversation to try to get that ultimate prize for a Pro Tour player. He's got an amazing zoo deck, really teched out by Hall of Famer Ben Rubin. They put Baneslayer Angels in so they could win the zoo matchup. They found Punishing Fire Grove of the Burn Willows, which is just an amazing combination that no other playtest team found. And now, in the finals, there's Tsuyoshi Ikeda. He's closing in on 300 lifetime pro points. Also already eligible for the Hall of Fame, having made his Pro Tour debut more than 10 years ago. He runs Shop Fireball, one of the legendary pieces of the Japanese Magic scene. The Fukuoka card shop that he runs has produced Jin Okamoto, Itaro Ishida, Hall of Famer Tsuyoshi Fujita. And it's Fujita that built this zoo deck that Ikeda's piloting here. So 2 Hall of Famers lingering off-screen, 2 Hall of Fame hopefuls bashing it out to find out who gets that title of Pro Tour champion added to their resume.
Sure, if we're calling Kibler's deck Rubin Zoo, perhaps we should be calling
instead of Spectral Zoo.
Raleigh Zoo.
Yeah, Fujita Zoo, something like that. Tsuyoshi Zoo. That'll work.
That's actually very convenient for both of them.
Exactly.
Hate when you miss it.
All right, so Tsuyoshi Ikeda, his tech is Spectral Procession. He can put 3/1/1 flyers into play, which was particularly good against all of the Dark Depths combo decks that were running around this tournament, putting 2020 Merit Lage Avatar tokens into play. Blocking that 3 times was enough for this zoo deck to sort of crack and race and win. Not as useful against a zoo deck or a Baneslayer Angel, which is going to win the race with lifelink. So, to see how this play out, but the general consensus seems to be that Kibler has the edge on deck. Both players seem to have reasonable draws here in Game 1. Looks like Kibler got to Bolt and a Coddle. He's now got a Tarmogoyf in play.
We got a Qasali Pride Mage on the side for on the other side for Ikeda. Takes some damage from a Shockland. Reads Grove of the Burn Willows.
Nice.
Making sure he wasn't supposed to have gained some life there.
Yeah, you can tap for colorless for free. It's just if you want red or green that your opponent gains a life. Oh, and there's Path on Tarmogoyf.
Yeah, that's very aggressive. We've actually
That's
seen
a quick
people
path.
be a little nervous about pathing early on Kibler because it just accelerates him into his Baneslayer Angels.
But Ikeda wants to clear Tarmogoyf and start attacking for damage. He's like, if you're going to have to do it at some point soon, you may as well get in the damage while you can. Yep, tax for 3. That'll drop Kibler to 16.
And adds a Curt Ape to the mix.
Curt Ape. Yeah, Kibler's deck is a little slower, and it's got bigger creatures. So this really plays out like kind of like it's got a beatdown versus control sub-theme to it, except when you're just a little bit slower, it tends to be a really powerful place to live in the metagame.
Yeah, the big difference between the 2 decks is the 3 Baneslayer Angels.
Versus Curt Ape, yeah.
Versus...
I mean, it's really the first way to describe the Kibler-Rubin Zoo deck. It's like, okay, we'll take out the Curt Apes, because you know what would be better than Curt Ape? Is Baneslayer Angel. Just, like, take out the bottom of the mana curve, add the top, sprinkle to taste with the Punishing Fire combo, which gives you, both reach and card advantage.
And where Ikeda has Spectral Procession, Brian has the Grove of the Burning Willows combo.
Sure.
So Knight of the Reliquary for Brian, with looks like 2 lands in his yard. 2 lands in a bolt. Yeah,
both players run Knight of the Reliquary. That's not all the zoo decks ran that, but these guys both decided that was the way to go, particularly since it gives you access to Ghost Quarter against Dark Depths. And also, against the 16 1-drop zoo variants, it's nice to have a big blocker.
Just going to keep pathing all the time.
That's what
there's another broken sleeve.
Yeah, it makes sense. If that's the way he's going to run it, he's got to hope that he's got enough removal to kill Kibler's creatures. Kibler, I mean, I think Ikeda has basically said, I lose if you have Baneslayer.
Right, if this game goes too long.
If this game goes to Baneslayer, you win. There's only 3 paths to exile in his deck, and those are the only 3 cards that really answer a Baneslayer Angel.
That's 4 path to exile.
4 path?
Deck. Yeah.
Okay, 4 path. So there's two left in theory.
I don't even have to look at his deck because I think they're both in his hand. I think he had just a very heavy path
Really?
draw, which explains why he was so willing to throw those away early. Or not throw them
Well,
away.
not throw them away, but he's just
yeah.
like, I'm going to give you land.
Willing to make that to go down that road.
If he's got 4 path in his hand, I would like his chances. Kibler has to draw a lot of threats to survive that. Well, there's a Tarmogoyf. And an Elspeth.
An Elspeth, that's a problem.
You can't path Elspeth, can you?
No, you cannot.
Is that the one randomizer's Elspeth?
It is. One Elspeth Knight Errant. There's not even another one on the sideboard.
All
Kibler
bats
laughing.
all the time here.
More lands.
Yep.
Oh, and Kibler's out of basics.
Baneslayer.
Now, Ikeda has to think about what he wants to attack.
Right.
Brian's life total or the Elspeth.
Absolutely. Decides to go for Elspeth.
They tag team the Elspeth.
Token is going to block Kurdabe, and the Pride Mage will take away 2 counters.
And there's an Umezawa's Jitte.
Oh, Jitte.
That's another card difference between these two decks.
How many Jittes does Ikeda have?
Two Jittes in his main deck, none on the sideboard. Kibler, I'm just double checking. Didn't see any when I was looking. No, none.
Elspeth makes another token, and Kibler passes the turn. Yeah, 3 copies of Path to Exile really have deprived Kibler of all available creatures. Feels kind of lucky he's got the one random Elspeth. Kibler's hand is 2 land and a Lightning Helix.
Which we'll probably see right here.
Yeah.
Does not want to get counters on that Kurdabe.
Yep. Lightning Helix on the Kurdabe means the Jitte is not going to pick up any counters.
Take 2.
Brian is going to have a net.
You 14 after
14, then 12. Yep.
I'm 16.
Net
yes.
gain of 1 life.
Go.
And the Jitte is just laying around waiting for something to pick it up. Kibler flicking his cards. Hoping he can do a magic trick here. Turn one of them into Baneslayer Angel.
15. Okay.
There's a token. There's a Tarmogoyf.
Sure.
No more paths in the deck for Tsuyoshi Ikeda.
3-4.
3-4.
Okay. How do I deal with this 3-4? He equips his Pride Mage to his Jitte.
Tarmogoyf steps in the way.
Yep.
That'll eat the Pride Mage, but the Jitte does get 2 counters. He's good enough to kill Tarmogoyf,
Yep.
right? Yep, there you go.
Oh. Yep. Yep.
He's just going to play this out as an Elspeth game?
He may. How many counters is that on there? 6?
Yeah, 6 counters.
Elspeth is -8 to make everything indestructible. Okay, it's down to 13.
Go.
Just says go.
10.
Wow. I like the way Ikeda played this game. He seemed to be in great shape with the path. Ran Kibler out of creatures. He's got a couple of attackers, looked to be in great shape, but the one random Elspeth off the top of the deck.
Couldn't draw Baneslayer Angel, but I mean, he drew Elspeth, and that's been just as good for him.
Yeah, good enough.
It clogged up the ground, it preserved his life total, and
And
now
now
it's
it's
giving
attacking.
him an offensive weapon, and pretty soon it's going to shut down.
It looks like Ikeda's still got more removal in his hand. Ikeda's hand includes a Lightning Helix, a Lightning Bolt, and 2 copies of Spectral Procession. He cannot cast the Processions yet, though. That basic Forest, messing him up.
Helix is a token.
13.
Yeah, Ikeda needs one more land to bring Spectral Procession into play. Draws Kurdape instead. He can pick up a Jitte. What does Ikeda need to win this game? Like, how does he come back? Say come back, it's more or less tied, right? 12 to 13.
The momentum certainly swung towards Kibler.
Yeah.
He needs to get a couple of attack phases in.
Yeah. Kibler knocks away the Kurdape. Oh, which does give Ikeda the land he needs. Interesting. Kibler's decision to path the Kurdape is going to allow Ikeda to start casting the Spectral Possessions that have been clogging up his hand. Jitte takes down 1 token. Here comes Nakatl and another token.
And we're 1 turn away from Elspeth going ultimate.
Yeah. You know, when we started imagining this matchup, I didn't think Elspeth was going to go ultimate. And I particularly did not expect that to be the way that Brian's 1/1s could beat up Sayoshi's.
Yeah. He may not go ultimate. He may just choose to continue using it like an outpost.
Sure. Certainly, I don't think you do it at 8. I think you at least go to 9 first. But I mean, it's kind of random that it's the one Elspeth, but this is kind of the way this deck is designed to work.
Sure.
I'll survive the early game. I'm certainly fast enough. I'm not going to get blown out. I've got my lightning bolts, my helixes, my cheap removal, my small creatures. But we get into the late game, and all Sayoshi Ikeda can do is, okay, tap 3 for 3 dorks, and then that card's gone. Kibler has way more powerful effects, like Elspeth and Baneslayer Angel.
And there's still Baneslayer lurking somewhere near the top of his deck, right?
Right, there's a Punishing Fire, too. I mean, eventually he'll draw Punishing Fire, and he can just start killing all those tokens that way. Like, he's got neither of the most powerful aspects of his deck online, but the rest of the deck seems good enough.
Right. And Elspeth's essentially a
4th Baneslayer.
4th Baneslayer, yeah.
We've got a couple of viewing parties watching this championship match today. Wanted to send a shout out to the folks at Misty Mountain Games in Minneapolis. Glad you guys could join us. Hope you're enjoying this. Oh, there's Punishing Fire. That is bad news for Sayoshi Ikeda. There's a Burn Willows online, so Punishing Fire kills, and then Burn Willows. Oh, he's got 2 Burn Willows online.
Yep.
And 10.
Okay, gain 1. I'll kill another creature. And then, yeah, gain 1 again. Get it back. Wow, such a good engine. How did nobody else find that?
Never.
You know, it looks so obvious now, you know?
There was no shortage.
Nobody had it.
No
One
shortage of
playtest
combos
group
to
in the
find.
world. Right, but I mean, a bunch of people found Dark Depths. Everybody was kind of hoping they were the only ones who had Hex Mage Dark Depths, but I mean, the secret was out. Everybody knew about Cascade into Hypergenesis, and yet no one found Punishing Fire Grove of the Burn Willows, except for, I don't know if it was Ben specifically, but it was that group, right?
Right.
Gabriel Nassif, Herbert Holtz, Chapin, Kibler, Dave Williams, Ben Rubin, that group, they're the only ones in the world who found this combo. I mean, I kind of like it when, a deck-building innovation like that gets paid off to the tune of, I mean, it's at least $20-some thousand. Was it $25,000 per second?
Yeah. Yeah,
Maybe
25,
40.
Right, maybe 40. And a lot of people won money playing this deck.
Oh, absolutely. Rubin went, I think, 8-2 with the deck. Where 4 of them played this version of it, and they all did well.
Yeah, the numbers for this particular build were something really gaudy, like 25-5 or
right.
something approaching those kind of numbers.
So second spectral possession, but whatever. Let's gain a couple of life and use up a turn.
Yeah.
So the other viewing party we wanted to say hello to are the folks at Phoenix Comics in Calgary.
Hey, guys.
Yeah, people have gathered at that store, put us up on the big screen. They're watching the Pro Tour Austin Finals.
I assume they're drafting.
I assume they're drafting as well. Take the black cards.
Yeah.
They are the best ones.
The red ones are pretty good, too.
Take them together.
Yeah. Yeah. This is just punishing fire.
Kibler's just mopping up here.
Punishing fire with buyback.
Punching fire with the buyback, yeah. Searing touch, but for 3. There's been a lot of action on Twitter today as well. Hashtag PT Austin if you want to jump in on the conversation.
That was a lot of fun yesterday as we were coming down the stretch.
Oh, yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Really trying to figure out who was going to be in the top 8. Was that last spot going to go to Paulo? Was it going to go to Kibler? Was it going to go to Hall of Famer Rob Daugherty, who finished in 9th place?
All right. Kibler continues removing blockers with his punishing fire, continues attacking with the soldier tokens he's gotten from Elspeth, and this is just going through the motions. This will be over in probably one more attack phase. Another Hall of Famer in the top 16, Raph Levy, he went loss and still managed top 16.
Yeah.
He just needed to win one of the last 2, and he'd have been playing today.
He had to go down to 4 cards?
Yeah, with mulligan to 4 against Progenitus in the last game. Yeah, Ikeda scoops them up, so Brian Kibler takes the lead, 1-0. His deck did what his deck is designed to do. And, yeah, the longer this matchup goes, the more it plays into the strengths of Kibler's deck. As soon as he drew Punishing Fire, this game just went from bad to ugly.
So
we should follow up on that Twitter note, by the way, because if you're listening to this and you're not following Magic Pro Tour on Twitter, you should just get a Twitter account.
Yeah.
It's like the last couple rounds of the Pro Tour, we're basically covering it live. And, every couple of minutes was another update from the feature match area. I thought that was just really interesting, like, to use that. Essentially, you could follow the Pro Tour live rather than, it usually takes half an hour for the feature match to get up, and, the standings lag a little bit behind. But
right.
I just like the way on Twitter you get this feel of, here's what's going on right now. I understand what's going on right now. We had the top 8 figured out before they'd even announced it to the crowd.
Right.
How many people who's drawing, how many people are going to get on breakers. I even saw, it was funny, because I follow Kibler on Twitter, and Kibler, the round 15 ends, the next to last round, where he more or less punted a match against Hypergenesis. And he's like, I picked up loss number 4. I don't know if I can still make it. And, 5 or 10 minutes later, he retweets a Magic Pro Tour post saying, we've done the math, and we think 2 people can get in with 4 losses, and Kibler has the best breakers. So he's like, yes, it looks like I've still got a shot. Even the players were following the Twitter feed so they could understand. In Kibler's case, that was... He kind of suspected as much, but it was kind of funny just to watch the way that played out.
There was also a lot of additional coverage that gets augmented by people just watching for the feature matches.
Oh, yeah.
Evan Irwin was there hanging around the feature match area, twittering. Trick Jarrett was there. Tons of other, players. Sam Black always twitters from his events.
You talk about Evan Irwin. I want to see the show, what happens in the Magic show this week. He was hanging out for they do a dress rehearsal for the award ceremony.
Oh, yeah.
Just to make sure we got the cameras and stuff. And so, whatever, they're just pretending to hand out trophies. So they grabbed Mark Rosewater for the dress rehearsal and did the trophy ceremony dress rehearsal with Mark Rosewater as the Pro Tour champion. And so Evan wanders by with his camera, and he's filming Mark Rosewater, pretending he won the Pro Tour,
Mark's jumping
waving
up
the
and
trophy
down.
up and around. So I just imagine that being in the Magic Show intro for years.
Yes. Sorry, Zvi, you're getting bumped.
That's funny. Do these decks change much when they sideboard?
I don't think Brian has sideboarded at all against Zoo.
Yeah, I mean, Kibler's deck is definitely set up so that they pre-built the deck against Zeus, since that was the deck they expected the most, and all the good cards against the other decks are in the sideboard.
Right.
So I don't think he sideboarded a single card against Hunter in the semis. I doubt he sideboarded a single card here. It was a nice sigh from Kibler. That was the, oh my God, I think I'm about to win the Pro Tour
After
sigh.
all these years.
After all these years, after all the crazy scenarios that have gone on this weekend to almost knock him out.
Yeah.
He needs to not think about that. I mean, he's got 2 matches left to win.
Ikeda probably is bringing in Countryside Crusher, which we've seen in his other Zoo matchups.
Sure. Yeah, Crusher seems decent.
Probably not bringing another Otherworldly Journey. Might be bringing in.
Volcanic Fallout's not good, right?
Volcanic Fallout doesn't.
I mean, you did just lose to a bunch of Elspeth tokens, but that's such a random, one of.
Right.
Can't imagine he answers that.
Brings in Flash Fires.
Doesn't
That
sound
doesn't seem
right.
very good.
My favorite aspect of Ikeda's sideboard is definitely the Rift Sweepers. It's he's 2 Rift Sweeper. With the dinner last night, we told this story earlier. I think it's worth retelling. It's like, why are there Rift Sweepers in your sideboard? And you asked Ikeda that this morning, right?
Yeah, I did, and he said, I don't know.
It's like, Sayoshi Fujita handed me the deck list. I'm not going to question him. He said there should be Rift Sweepers in the sideboard. I guess there's supposed to be Rift Sweepers in the sideboard.
He said he did side them in against Ancestral Visions. Tsuyoshi apparently felt maybe that there was going to be Dragonstorm here. I don't know.
No, he was gonna hit Lotus Blooms.
Lotus Blooms.
That's
Maybe
hilarious.
Gargadons.
I don't see Gargadon. Lotus Bloom makes a little bit of sense. Fujita had a Dragonstorm for you. But yeah, I mean, Ikeda knows who to listen to.
So, if you're building this deck at home, thinking about taking it to the next round of PTQs, or thinking about taking the local,